So how is, from your aspect, right? How is AI narrowing human choice and how does that kind
hmm
of interloop in with like what you do?
Yeah, so I wrote this book, The Loop: How AI is Creating a World Without Choice and How to Fight Back. And it came out about a year before ChatGPT did, because I was seeing the rise of commercial AI. We'd just seen the beginning of these big, what are called transformer models, which are they're basically big funnels that allow you to pour a huge amount of data in and get a little bit of insight out. And that's the thing that makes ChatGPT possible and Claude possible and Gemini and all these different these different LLM products. And so I was seeing the rise of that technology at the same time that I was also learning all this stuff about how humans make decisions based on this PBS documentary and all this reporting and research I had done. And all of that reporting and research basically led me to understand that like human beings are incredibly predictable, even across cultures. That like when you deprive a human being of enough resources and enough time and enough information, and you ask them to like improvise a decision under strain, we will very often do it the exact same way every time in a way that is really, really predictable. And I could go on and on about sort of examples of that, but there's, trust me when I say like that's the headline of the last like 50 years of behavioral research, behavioral science is like we make decisions in really predictable ways. And the whole point of AI is finding the patterns in data. And the fastest way, the best way people have learned to make money off of technology is to read human behavior, predict it wherever they can, and shape it wherever they can. And I just sort of looked at these factors and thought, I'm not the kind of guy who typically throws my weight around and I talk for a living, but I do reporting for a living, but I'm not like a grand theory of everything book kind of guy. But in this case, I was like, wow, I don't see anybody else warning us that we are uniquely vulnerable to what's coming down the road. And I think I got to do that or I'm not going to be able to live with myself. And so I wrote this book that basically was arguing that when commercial AI hits, we're going to be in a position where it's going to try to turn us into this ancient, instinct driven version of ourselves and try to de-skill and take agency away from the modern, cautious, creative, rational, civilized people that we want to be. And so my whole thesis is this stuff, if we let it, is going to amplify the worst parts of being human because it's easier to make money than it is protecting the best parts of being human. And, like I say, I thought I was really early. I thought I was like 5 years early on this. And the ChatGPT came out like not even a year later. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. And so I've been in a sort of depressive spiral ever since, just watching my thesis like come to life all around me, as kids aren't reading books and people don't know how to write their own wedding vows. And, I think it's doing to our ability to make good choices for ourselves what GPS did to our sense of direction. So that's what I'm worried about.